The Dangote Refinery, poised to be Africa's largest oil refinery and among the largest globally, will likely have profound implications for Nigeria's domestic economy and the global energy landscape. By transforming Nigeria's role in the petroleum refining sector, the refinery is set to address long-standing inefficiencies in Nigeria's fuel supply and create rippling effects throughout the global fuel supply chain. Below is a detailed analysis of these impacts. 1. Impact on Nigeria's economy. Foreign exchange savings and reserves. Nigeria has historically spent billions of dollars on importing refined petroleum products, largely due to insufficient domestic refining capacity. The Dangote Refinery, once fully operational, is expected to significantly reduce the country's dependence on imported fuel, potentially saving Nigeria more than $10 billion annually in foreign exchange. This will improve the country's foreign reserves and help rectify its chronic trade deficits by reducing the outflow of foreign currency. Furthermore, the refinery's capacity to process 650,000 barrels per day of crude will bolster Nigeria's energy security, positioning it as a self-sufficient oil refining country. Job creation and economic diversification. The Dangote Refinery is projected to generate a vast number of jobs, both direct and indirect. Direct employment opportunities within the refinery itself will include skilled labor, engineers, and technicians, while indirect job creation will ripple through auxiliary industries such as logistics, transportation, and services. This large-scale employment potential will help reduce Nigeria's high unemployment rate while simultaneously diversifying the economy away from its historical dependence on crude oil exports. By adding value domestically through refining and producing petrochemicals, Nigeria can begin to develop a more complex industrial base, which could stimulate the emergence of new sectors, including plastics, pharmaceuticals, and fertilizer industries. In the long term, this diversification is critical as Nigeria's over-reliance on crude oil exports has left its economy vulnerable to fluctuations in global oil prices. By increasing its role in downstream oil processing and leveraging its natural resource base to foster industrial growth, Nigeria could potentially weather future economic shocks more effectively. Infrastructure development. The construction of the Dangote Refinery has catalyzed large-scale infrastructure investments, including the expansion of the Lekki Deep Seaport, road networks, and other critical infrastructure. These developments have the potential to create long-lasting economic benefits by improving trade, logistics, and accessibility, thereby enhancing Nigeria's attractiveness as a destination for foreign direct investment. The refinery's location within the Lekki Free Zone further reinforces its potential to become a hub for regional trade, drawing in businesses related to petrochemical, manufacturing, logistics, warehousing, and services. As the refinery begins exporting fuel and petrochemical products, the surrounding infrastructure will become a key logistical point for West African and global trade routes. Reduction of fuel subsidies. Nigeria's current fuel subsidy regime has long been a drain on public finances, with the government spending upwards of $7 billion per year to keep fuel prices artificially low. With the Dangote Refinery providing refined products domestically, the government will be positioned to reduce or eliminate these subsidies, thus freeing up significant resources that could be allocated to infrastructure, education, and health services. However, this policy shift could also face political and social challenges, as fuel subsidy removal is a historically contentious issue in Nigeria. Export and trade opportunities. The Dangote Refinery is designed to supply both domestic and international markets, will open new export opportunities for Nigeria. By becoming a net exporter of refined petroleum products, Nigeria stands to generate substantial foreign exchange earnings. The refinery is expected to supply refined products not only to West Africa, but potentially to other regions such as Europe and South America. This shift will position Nigeria as a regional powerhouse in petroleum refining and trade, allowing the country to exert greater influence in global energy markets. Reduced reliance on imports and global supply chain impact. Nigeria's past reliance on imported refined petroleum products, despite being one of the world's largest crude oil producers, has been a paradox that the Dangote Refinery seeks to resolve. By refining crude domestically, Nigeria will reduce its need for imports, which in turn will free up global supply for other markets. This could potentially ease pressure on global refining hubs and transportation routes, helping to stabilize fuel supplies and prices in other regions. What do you think about this review so far? Share your thoughts via the comments link below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss this types of review. Please view other reviews on our channels. We have other interesting reviews and insights that may interest you. Thanks. Dangote Refinery will also impact the global fuel supply chain via diversification of global fuel sources. With the addition of 650,000 barrels per day in refining capacity, the Dangote Refinery will meaningfully diversify global fuel sources. African nations in particular have long been reliant on refined fuel imports from Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. The entry of Dangote's products into the market will shift the balance of trade for refined petroleum products, reducing Africa's dependency on imports from regions such as Europe and the Middle East. This diversification will contribute to the resilience of the global fuel supply chain, as more regions will be able to access refined products from closer, more secure sources. The capacity of the Dangote Refinery to supply both regional and global markets may also help mitigate the effects of geopolitical tensions and supply chain disruptions in other key refining hubs, such as the Middle East. In times of global instability, having a refining powerhouse in Africa could offer a critical alternative for fuel supply. Reduction in global fuel prices. The introduction of a new major refining player in Africa is expected to exert downward pressure on fuel prices, particularly in the regions that are reliant on imports. By shortening supply chains and reducing transportation and logistical costs, the refinery can deliver cheaper refined products to markets in Africa. These localized price reductions may have a knock-on effect in the global pricing structure, especially if Dangote's products begin to displace exports from European and Asian refiners. However, it is essential to note that the impact on global fuel prices may be moderate, as prices are influenced by a range of factors, including OPEC production quotas, geopolitical risks, and global demand trends. Nevertheless, the refinery's contribution to the global supply could help buffer against supply shocks and price volatility, particularly in the West African sub-region. Impact on foreign refineries. The Dangote Refinery poses a significant challenge to foreign refineries, particularly those in Europe that have traditionally supplied refined products to African markets. The reduced demand for imports from African countries will likely result in decreased production volumes for these refineries, leading to potential reductions in workforce and operational downsizing, as seen in the case of the Grangemouth Refinery in Scotland, which has experienced job cuts partly due to declining demand from Africa. Refineries in Europe and the Middle East may be forced to reassess their market strategies, potentially looking to new export markets or focusing on high-value products to stay competitive. The shift in trade dynamics will likely have a long-term effect on the profitability of these foreign refineries, possibly leading to consolidation within the industry. Shift in trade dynamics and increased competition. The Dangote Refinery will contribute to a rebalancing of global trade flows in refined products. As Nigeria and other African nations become more self-sufficient, European and Asian refiners will have to pivot to new markets or face significant production cuts. This increased competition will likely drive innovation and operational efficiencies as foreign refineries adapt to the changing landscape. In the long term, the global refining sector may see increased consolidation, with smaller, less efficient refineries either merging or exiting the market altogether. Conclusion. The Dangote Refinery is set to have profound and lasting impacts on both the Nigerian economy and the global fuel supply chain. Domestically, it will help Nigeria achieve energy security, reduce its reliance on fuel imports, save billions in foreign exchange, and create a wave of new jobs, all while fostering economic diversification. Globally, the refinery will add significant refining capacity, contribute to stabilizing fuel prices, and alter trade dynamics, especially in Africa and Europe. For foreign refineries, particularly those in Europe and the Middle East, the emergence of the Dangote Refinery will lead to increased competition, likely resulting in strategic shifts, operational downsizing, and potentially a wave of industry consolidation. In a rapidly evolving global energy market, the Dangote Refinery represents a major shift in the balance of refining power, offering both opportunities and challenges to the existing global supply chain. What do you think about this review? Share your thoughts via the comments link below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss this types of review. Please view other reviews on our channels. We have other interesting reviews and insights that may interest you. Thanks.